Brian Flynn. Lisa, year after year, through rain or shine, and it's certainly not shining today, this event has always taken on added significance. We can't ignore the rain today. Is there anything unique about today's competition?
Only that it is raining, and this is the first time we've run into the rain through our horse jumping events so far. Quite not as many have scratched from the whole competition as usually they would, but the footing here at Devon is sand. It's only sand, so it doesn't get slick. It doesn't get slidey and slippery and unsafe. It just gets a little shiny. Some of the horses will spook at that, some of them won't.
Brian, you walked the course earlier with the riders. Where do you see the main trouble spots?
Robert, I think there are two as we see them right now, and I think both in the combinations. Since number 10B, which is a gate that hangs on flat cups, the course designed by Bert Nemeth, historically makes great use of flat cups. This one sure does. 10B is a problem spot. The second to last jump on the course, fence number 14A, also flat cups again, a big wide oxer. Those two are going to take their toll, I think, most of anything on the course today.
So we've got the very best in Grand Prix show jumping here at Devon. We'll be back in just a moment. The 1987 Cadillac American Gold Cup is brought to you by the Cadillac Motor Car Division and your Cadillac dealer. And by Michelob. Exceptionally smooth, distinctive taste is why the night belongs to Michelob.
Travel is Cadillac style. Some people want more, not just a little bit. This is your life and you're the only one who's living it. Let's go, let's live, let's love every mile. The only way to travel is Cadillac style. Cadillac, Cadillac, Cadillac style.
For more than 50 years, no magazine has chronicled the American way of life better than Life.
I'm talking about America. America. You see, God done shed his grace on thee.
Now Life can be in your home by calling 1-800-621-4700. Order now to receive a full year of Life. 13 big issues, including 2 collector's editions, Life's Photo Spectacular, The Year in Pictures, and 150 years of photography. You also get Life's elegant designer telephone free, featuring a mute button for privacy and memory that redials the last number called. Free with your fully paid subscription to Life. It's all yours for 4 easy payments of just $7.97 each. So call 1-800-621-4700 now and order Life.
Welcome to Devon, Pennsylvania. It is a rather nasty afternoon. We've got the first horse of the second round, Henri Prudhomme, on Winnipeg.
The rain at the moment has abated just a bit, and I suspect it's maybe just for a short time, Robert, but that, as we mentioned earlier, is going to have more of an effect, I think, on the horse's vision in this particular ring than it is on the actual footing itself. You literally can't beat the conditions underfoot that we have here in Devon, Pennsylvania.
Well, it certainly looks messy enough. There's just water all over the field as Henri heads for the first jump.
The first line of jumps, an oxer to a vertical, 5 foot 1 inch vertical, the second fence on course. Most of the horses doing it in about 6 strides. We'll see how Henri Prudhomme attacks the first line of the American Gold Cup 1987. He's going to add a step in there, gets very tight to number 2, however clean over the first 2 jumps on course. He's now going to make the left-hand turn back to a Swedish oxer, 5.5 feet wide. That's 5 feet 6 inches tall on his right-hand side as he approaches it, and he's clean over that. Long gallop to the far end of the ring to the Michelob vertical. Again, 5 feet high and clean without a rub there. And Henri has yet to rub an obstacle on course through the first 4 efforts. begin the left-hand turn now back to jump number 5.
Henri, of course, as most of our viewers would recognize, is the husband of Katie Monahan Prudhomme, and a very, very successful rider in his own right. Married, of course, to last year's Rider of the Year.
Robert, I could be wrong, but this horse looks like he may have come to play today. He has yet to rub an obstacle. Here's the run to the water. Cleans the call by Adolphe McGavreau at the water, and Henri will turn right-handed center of the end of the ring to jump number 9. Narrow, 4 feet 9, and again, rub clean. Now the triple combination, the fence number 10B. This is a very steady 2 strides. He has to hold his horse off and nails it again. He's not the first. He'd be the 6th on course so far that's done that, and that is one of our trouble spots today. The very tight 2 strides to a very loosely held fence number 10B.
So Henri is now carrying 4 faults as he tackles the end of the course.
Just a half left turn now to another 5-foot vertical, the planks. Now a left-hand turn at the far end of the ring, finishing down through a 1-stride combination. Fences 14A and B, and so far in the competition, fence number 14A has been the one that's come down most. Henri with a rub there, but clean, and 4 faults will be his score.
Henri Prudhomme, Winnipeg, he's got 4 faults. He is within the time limit. The time limit is 120 seconds. He did it in just over 111 seconds.
We see Henri Prudhomme now through the triple combination. Fence number 10B, and this may be the toughest effort on course. You have to hold your horse off there. It's a very tight 2 strides. He nails it with the front end, as many horses have done, and as many more will do today. That comes down very easily.
So, Brian, to fill in our viewers, this morning there were 12 rounds. They had a pre-jumping because of the vastness of the field. There were 3 clean rounds, perfect rounds this morning. Greg Best on Gem Twist, Norman Delajoyo on Aga Khan, and Joe Fargas, the Olympic gold medalist, on Abdullah. Now we see the second horse of the afternoon round, Monty L, ridden by Eric Hasbrook, a 27-year-old rider from North Smithfield, Rhode Island.
Eric, rider we've seen a number of times on our telecast, a very capable individual, working out of New York right now. He has been in Rhode Island with Paul Valier the last few years, is actually running a stable of his own in New York at the present time, and one of the most promising young riders in the country. Eric originally from the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle area, and clean through his first 3 efforts on course today, beginning the half right-hand turn to the Michelob vertical, and a clean ride to that. So Eric Hasbrook clean through the first 4 efforts on course on Monty L.
And Eric rode quite a while in Canada, too. He really has been all around North America.
No, a very talented young man. He's an extremely talented athlete. We had a softball competition a few weeks ago where literally the riders, the Grand Prix riders mostly from a show that we were at in Vermont, competed against a town team, not a professional team, an amateur team in town. Eric Hasbrook, I'll tell you, can cream the softball. And he had a couple of shots that night that were in excess of 350 feet in the air. This boy is a marvelous, marvelous athlete.
Now, he just jumped the water jump in the World Cup qualifier, which was a preliminary competition 2 days ago in the same ring. He had a very major problem with the water. He's obviously been working on it. This horse is jumping fabulous.
Unusual approach now to the triple. He's going to knock down 10A after trotting in the corner. He's got 4 faults, and he's got nothing but trouble at 10C. His horse backing up there, and you can't get across a 6-foot wide jump. That's slow. So Eric with 8 faults so far as he begins to turn to number 11. 4 more faults on the back rail at number 11, and he's up to a dozen faults just in a heartbeat.
Well, Brian, I think I spoke a little early. The C part of the triple is a Liverpool. It's got water underneath it, and the horse has really been backed off lately about that. And when he took off at the C, it looked like he really just didn't want to get over that back rail.
No, there was desire was one of the things that wasn't in his eye for sure, Robert. And 12 is the score he carries now to the final 2 efforts on course. Hard rubs at both ends of 14A, clean over 14B, and 12 will be his score.
Eric Hasbrook, 12 faults, and just over the time limit. After he had all those faults, he did go around this jump here. He ended up with 120.8 seconds. That's a quarter of time fault.
Eric Hasbrook now at the triple combination. He had trotted just before that, was having difficulty organizing his horse to 10A. His horse looks at that Liverpool at 10C and says, not today, and right smack in the center of it for 4 more faults.
Brian, the objectives of show jumping are really very straightforward. horse and rider have to complete the course with the least amount of faults and within the time limit, the scoring is also very simple.
The knockdown on course, Robert, knocking the top rail, top element of a jump is 4 faults for any time that it's done on course. The first refusal on course, they're assessed 3 faults against them. For the second refusal, a total of 6 additional faults. For the third refusal on course, the result is elimination.
And horses and riders are also eliminated for a fall, of course. A foot in the water or on the tape is 4 faults, and exceeding the time limit is 1/4 of a fault for every second over the time allowed. We're glad you're with us today at the 1987 Cadillac American Gold Cup. I'm Robert Ridlin, along with Brian Flynn. Lisa Burke is in the warm-up area. We see Katie Monahan Prudhomme, 33-year-old rider from Middleburg, Virginia, on Special Envoy.
Katie now this week, the winner of the last Eastern event on the AGA Tour, the Jumping Derby in Newport, Rhode Island. A major win for Katie Monahan on this horse. We'll see how much that can carry over today at the American Gold Cup. These 2 of the legs of the so-called Triple Crown of show jumping. Katie, the winner of 1. Lisa Jaquin was the winner of the first this year at the American Invitational in Tampa, Florida, one of our first events of the year. Katie Monahan and a number of others today, Robert, trying to make it 3 ladies in a row this year that have won the Grand Prix, or the Grand Slam, if you will, World Series of show jumping.
And that has never been done before. That all 3 Triple Crown events have been won by a woman.
Well, Katie Monahan has record from the last week on our side today, along with the fact that Katie Monahan, on the worst of circumstances, is one of the very greatest wide riders the world has ever seen. Hard ride to the water. She's clean through the first 8 numbered efforts on course. And now the right-hand turn to the narrow vertical, number 9 at the end of the ring. Light rub in front and clean there. Now Katie's putting a lot of effort here into slowing her horse down to prepare for that very tight 2 strides. That was by the numbers. You're not going to see that particular effort done any better, Robert, I don't think, today than that young lady just did it.
Well, that shows why she has been the 2-time Rider of the Year.
That, I think, by rider standards, and I hate to precede Robert by saying this, but that was very close to a work of art. They ride to 10A and the ride out of over 10C. Katie's still clean. She approaches fence number 13, holds her horse off of that beautifully, and she'll begin the turn now to the final 2 efforts on course. Remember, 14A, this is the jump that has come down the most so far. Light rub at both ends of that. She's clean. Hard rub at 14B. It's going to stay up.
It's up. Clean round. Katie Monahan Prudhomme on Special Envoy, the 4th clean round of the day. Brian, let's look at her ride coming to the triple combination.
A lot of homework was put in there, Robert, ahead of time to slow her horse down, to set him up for this. Now watch the hustle. Long 2 strides jumping out. She gets into him with her seat. The press over the wide triple bar, 6 feet wide. That is as perfectly as I think you will ever see a rider anywhere in the world ride that particular test. That young lady is a master.
We'll be back to the Cadillac American Cup in Devon, Pennsylvania in just a moment.
You could buy a $100,000 sweeper to clean up around your house.
Hey, look out, Marge! What are you driving? I'm coming through!
Sure, it cleans driveways and patios quickly and easily, but so does the Litter Critter from ShopVac. A revolutionary way to clean dirt and debris from outdoor surfaces without electricity or batteries. And when you're finished, the Litter Critter stays out of your way.
You didn't buy that, Herbert! I'm not crazy! I leased it!
The Litter Critter, a sweeping improvement from ShopVac.
If you own a house, you gotta own a ShopVac. This baby's got the power to pick up almost anything.
Got broken glass, nails, or wood chips? ShopVac gobbles up stuff that would kill an ordinary vacuum. And a ShopVac wet dry can even vacuum water like a flooded basement. The washing machine is flooding the house.
No.
Every house needs a ShopVac. Starting at under $50, a ShopVac is heavy duty, not heavy money. And remember, if it doesn't say ShopVac, keep shopping.
It's the world's richest 3-year-old invitational. Louisiana's 8th annual Super Derby features a showdown between the top horses, jockeys, and trainers. Live Sunday at 5 Eastern on ESPN.
Brian, we're looking at the 3rd part of the triple combination, what they call the Liverpool. That has really been presenting a major problem all day long.
It is something that many of the horses look at. As you know, Robert, some don't care about it. Others care an awful lot about it. Jay Land we have on course now.
24-year-old rider from Atlanta, Georgia on Leapy Lad. Weepy Lad is just a stupendous horse. Has had a wonderful record over the years.